Hi there, Del Singh here, aka BariatricMan. I've spoken before about the fact that I've had bariatric surgery, gastric sleeve, whereby I've had part of my stomach removed, um, in an attempt to help me lose a lot of weight because I was morbidly obese. It's something that 16 months on has worked brilliantly for me. Absolutely delighted, which is why I'm doing this. Hopefully, if somebody watches this, it may derive some inspiration, some help, maybe some advice, and I'm more than happy to again communicate with people to try to help them wherever possible because I think it is important. Um, I've lost around sort of 10 stone, that's probably around 145 pounds, about 66 kilograms. It's a big weight loss, big weight loss. But more so, just not the weight loss, it's about the health aspect of it, feeling better. I'm not on any tablets, so nothing for blood pressure or sort of elevated blood pressure or cholesterol or any of those things, which I was previously, and I felt rotten on those things. So I'm glad I don't do any of those. I take a few vitamins these days, maybe a little aspirin. That's just one of those things. I mean, old habits die hard, and that's it. So just talk a little bit about what I went through in terms of the surgery, the process. The procedure itself was something that was done in the UK. Effectively, it is an invasive surgery where effectively they make a series of cuts. I think there's 5 or 6 cuts that are made whilst you're under, and effectively going in there, the surgeons will effectively measure out what is a large stomach and actually cut out a bit of it and then actually sew it up, so you end up with what is, it's called a sleeve basically. So it's about a quarter of the stomach that you normally sort of would have. This just reduces greatly your capacity to eat. It doesn't mean say you're kind of constantly starving, because you're actually satiated, you've eaten, you're happy, you're full. And so unlike the diets where you've got a massive stomach and you're putting this much food into it, rattling around in there, you're never going to be satiated. You're always going to be kind of like sort of hungry. I always was when I was on diets, and that's why for me diets don't work. Now, there's people out there that tell you they've lost a massive amount of weight just going on a diet without any surgery. Good on them. I absolutely applaud them, and they're brilliant, and I'm not here to knock anyone, but it is a case of we live in a world where one size doesn't fit all. I tried that. Maybe didn't have the willpower, maybe couldn't do all those things, maybe couldn't do that crazy gym stuff day in, day out, sort of 4 hours in the gym, there and back. I'm in my 50s. I'm not a 20-something. So I chose this option. It's good for me, and thus far I've been vindicated. It worked well for me, and that's what I'm trying to pass on. So anyway, once you've had the surgery, somebody asked me, is the surgery painful? Yes, any surgery is painful, but I will always counter that with the fact that, maybe if you do nothing and you have a stroke, that's going to be really more painful, and that's something you've got to live with all the time. Yeah, diabetes is painful. You've got to live with that all the time if you lose a limb or go blind. So any surgery comes with risk. There is some pain, but once you heal and that goes away, you're pretty much a normal person, and that's the way I consider it. You do need help and support, and I think that's the important thing I wanted to get across on this video, was that aftercare, after surgery, is important. You need support from people around you. So not just the medical team or the organisation that helps you with your procedure. I was very fortunate. The organisation I went with had excellent aftercare, so they were constantly through telephone, through email, and through meetings, assessing me, making sure I was okay. As I said, I did feel a little rough afterwards, and there were times when I questioned, hang on, have I done the right thing? But they were there on hand to let me know these things do improve. Certainly, I had a little chest infection, so I actually lost my taste buds for a bit, and that happens with a chest infection, nothing to do with the surgery, but it's just one of those things. But I thought it was to do with the surgery. So while I was eating the kind of like slightly small quantities of mushy food and I couldn't taste them, I thought, my God, is this the rest of my life? And they assured me it wasn't. And as soon as the antibiotic cleared the chest infection, hey, my taste buds kicked in again, and I could taste things. And you know what? I could actually taste things better. I know I don't want to sound trite, but I also started tasting food that I think I took for granted beforehand. Particularly, vegetarian food. I'm not a veggie. I'm not a vegan. I do like my meat and stuff. But I found that I was all of a sudden finding taste where I never had taste before. So there's a number of things that change. So the aftercare is important. I think it is important you work with an organisation, with a hospital or with a health provider that has good aftercare. Yeah, so it's important, whether that's aftercare in terms of the psychological aspects of it, because some people need that little bit of psychology and stuff, and they need that sort of arm on the shoulder and whatever. I'm pleased that I didn't need too much of that. I was pretty much comfortable once I'd kind of got over it. I did need some help around the diet side of things, and again, there was nutritionists and dietitians that were able to help, and they were able to advise both pre-surgery, because you do have to go through a pre-surgery phase to shrink your liver, then post-surgery, as you start coming through recovery, what you can eat, how it's going to taste, and getting yourself through it. And it's gradual, but it works. And the more help you get, the more input you get from people, the better you are. You just don't feel alone. And you know, it can be a tough journey, especially when a lot of people are really reliant on food, when they're comfort eaters, and it's basically their mechanism for coping. I was quite pleased that it wasn't so much for me, but you know, there were times when I did get stressed and I did need to turn to something that was, you know, food-based or drink-based and so on. And you know, but they were there to help me, and I got through that. The other people that were there to help, and again, this is important, my family. Now, when I actually went to have my surgery, the only people that knew about it were myself and my wife. We didn't tell the children, didn't tell everybody else, didn't tell the broader family. It's just something that I didn't feel comfortable with, and I thought people might dissuade me. And I didn't want to worry them unduly. But post-surgery, obviously the whole family knew, and they were really supportive. My wife in particular was brilliant, has been brilliant, still is brilliant. You know, especially when I was in that recovery phase, you know, little things like going to the loo were quite difficult, quite painful when you've actually got sort of stitches and stuff. So, you know, you do need somebody around who's going to help you and assist you in doing those sort of things. Family were pretty good. I did make it clear I didn't want any special attention, in that I didn't want, you know, to eat alone. I didn't want them to sort of cook at certain times just in case I could smell it. No, I wanted to be as normal as possible. So yeah, the smell of, you know, food cooking would kind of like think I'd be feeling hungry, and then all of a sudden I was going to eat some small portion of kind of like some mashed potato or something with the gravy on it or whatever, whilst the people were tucking into other stuff, and that didn't bother me. And I think the quicker you get over those sort of things, the better. But you know, things like aftercare with family, with your health providers is important, and also other people, mentors. Now, again, that was one of the reasons I'm doing this, is because I didn't find too many people on. I looked around YouTube, looked around the internet to find people that I could, you know, whose life might resonate with mine. They might sort of have things in common with me, and they might be able to sort of help me. A lot of ladies on there were doing it in particular, and you know, again, from a gender-specific sort of thing. Their goals are slightly different to mine. I didn't find too many male role models that could help me, and no disrespect to anyone in the States, but sometimes the language kind of like got a little bit out of sync with the way I kind of speak and the way I am. So it didn't work for me. So I'm hoping, one of the reasons I'm doing this is that if somebody's out there and they think, this guy sounds interesting, he sort of went from there to there, and that's a journey that I want to do, then, you know, I'd be more than happy to help, advise, mentor. I am actually putting together a website for this because people have asked me to. No other reason. I'm not looking for remuneration and stuff. I'm just looking there to help. So do keep your eyes open for that. I've actually got a domain of BariatricMan.com, and that's pretty much going to go live in the next few weeks, months. And on there, I'll put more videos and more help, and an email, so I can hopefully start to talk to people and answer questions that they might have. So all said and done, it is a big life-changing decision that you've got to look at and go through. Not something to be taken lightly. Do consult people, both family. Do consult medical professionals, please. Start with your own doctor first and foremost. Make sure you get the right procedure that's good for you. So, you know, if you feel that a sleeve may be a bridge too far, start with a band, and if you lose the weight and you think, hang on, I can do this, and then go to their, I mean, the thing with the band is you can't reverse that. You can always reverse, can't reverse the sleeve, you can reverse the band. So choose all those things. Make sure you've got a good support network around you, because, you know, it's not something you can do on your own. But then diets aren't, you know, those people that are really successful with diets have people around them that help them, as opposed to people that say, nah, go on, give it a miss today, and, you know, sabotage. So again, it is no different to dieting in a way, although you do get a big help, and you are able to do more for yourself, I believe, than without having to work with, you know, think about others intervening. I hope this has been useful, and again, please feel free to you know, contact me at some point. Let me know. Look out for my videos. I will put these on YouTube and stuff, and a Bariatric Man. And speak to you soon. Bye.